Hello friends, welcome to our RV YouTube channel. In this session 6 of electric drives and control course, we are going to study about multi-quadrant dynamics operation of an electric drive. Please subscribe RV YouTube channel. For instant notifications and updates, please press the bell icon. Now let us go into the multi-quadrant dynamics. First now let us discuss why this multi-quadrant dynamics has to be studied. The purpose is, in our day-to-day life, we come across the applications like lifts, cranes and hoists. So these sort of applications like lifts, cranes and hoists will operate in both the upward direction and in the downward direction. That means the motion control of these lifts, cranes and hoists is in both upward direction and in the downward direction. So in order to operate in both upward direction and in downward direction, it requires the mechanical energy. That mechanical energy is provided by means of an electric motor. That means an electric motor drive is used as a prime mover in order to operate this lifts, cranes and hoists in both upward motion and in downward motion. That means in all four quadrants, in multi quadrants. Therefore, our electric drive has to be provide a torque which should be able to operate or drive the lifts and cranes and hoists in both upward direction and in the downward direction. So that is the reason why we are studying about this multi-quadrant dynamics operation of an electric drive. So now let us see the four quadrants of an electric drive. So this is the four quadrants of an electric drive with perspective to the electrical parameters, and this is with perspective to the mechanical parameters. Here voltage V and high current, and here it is the speed omega and the torque T. So this the function of an electric motor is to convert this electrical energy V into I into the mechanical output energy called omega into torque, and this torque T, which is able to either move upward or move downward this lifts, cranes and hoists. So this torque T is provided by this electric motor. So now let us discuss the four quadrants. Here it is first quadrant, here it is second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. So first quadrant is forward motoring, and second quadrant is forward braking, and third quadrant is reverse motoring, and fourth quadrant is reverse braking. The same is applicable in mechanical parameters also. Now, in order to understand the operation of multi-quadrant dynamics using an electric drive, we can use the load as hoist. That means we are going to study with an example of hoist in order to understand the operation of multi-quadrant dynamics operation of an electric drive. So now let us see some symbols which we have used in this multi-quadrant operation of electric drive using hoist. So this symbol represents the counterweight, and this symbol represents the loaded cage, and this symbol represents the empty cage. Now let us discuss the weights of these counterweights, which are chosen in such a way that weight of the loaded cage is greater than the weight of the counterweight. That means the weight of the loaded cage is greater than that of the weight of the counterweight, and the weight of this counterweight is greater than that of the weight of the empty cage. Here, weight of the counterweight is greater than that of the weight of the empty cage. So with this base knowledge, now let us study about the multi-quadrant operation or the four-quadrant operation of an electric drive for hoist mechanism. That means we are going to move hoist in both upward direction and in downward direction by means of using electric drive. So first, this is first quadrant, and this is second quadrant, and this is third quadrant, and this is fourth quadrant. So let us discuss about each and every quadrant individually. So first let us discuss about this first quadrant. So this is our hoist. This is our hoist. To the one end of this hoist, a loaded cage is connected, and to the other end of this hoist, the counterweight is connected. So if we compare the weight of these two cages, the weight of the loaded cage is higher, because as we discussed earlier, the weight of this loaded cage is greater than that of the weight of this counterweight. Therefore, the maximum weight is in this direction, that means in the clockwise direction. So the load torque here, T suffix L, which is in this blue color, represents the load torque. Therefore, the direction of the load torque will be in the clockwise direction, because here the weight of this loaded cage is greater than that of the weight of the counterweight. Always the load torque direction will be in the direction of the maximum weight side. And here this torque line TL1, okay, which is in this blue color, the TL1 torque line is the difference between the torque of this loaded cage and the torque of this counterweight. This torque line TL1 is the difference between the torque of this loaded cage and the torque of this counterweight. Here now our objective is to move this loaded cage towards upward motion. That means towards the counterclockwise direction. Therefore the direction of the speed will be in the counterclockwise direction, because the motion is in the motion of this loaded cage has to be in the counterclockwise direction. So the speed direction will also be in the counterclockwise direction, because the direction of the motion will be the direction of the speed. So if we want to move this loaded cage towards upward or in the counterclockwise direction, we need a mechanical energy called torque in the counterclockwise direction, because the motion required in the counterclockwise direction. Therefore, the mechanical energy torque should also be in the counterclockwise direction. So now our problem is how to achieve this torque in order to move this loaded cage in the counterclockwise direction. So in order to achieve this torque, we are using an electric motor, because an electric motor basically converts an electrical energy into a mechanical energy. That mechanical energy is nothing but the torque which will move this loaded cage towards the counterclockwise direction. So this is the electric motor. We are using a DC motor in order to move this upwards. So what happens here? See here, electrical input energy called VA, that means armature input voltage VA, and the armature current is given to this armature terminals of the motor. And this electric motor converts this VA IA, that means this electrical energy, into the mechanical output power called omega and T. So this torque T is called as motoring torque. Now this torque will move this hoist. See this mechanical load hoist. That means this mechanical load hoist is connected to the shaft of the motor here. So now this mechanical torque will drive this load. That means this hoist, this torque, nothing but which is in the black color, will now move upwards. That means in the counterclockwise direction. So this is how the torque is achieved. The torque is achieved by means of using a electric motor. And here power flows from source to the load. See here, this is the source, the current or the power which is flowing from source to the load. This is called motoring mode. So whenever the power flows from source to the load, the motoring operation happens, because here this motor is driving the load, or in other words this motor is providing the mechanical energy in terms of torque in order to move this mechanical load in the loaded cage in the upward direction. It is called as motoring mode. And here now let us assume that the speed which is in the counterclockwise direction as forward. Okay, here the motion required in the counterclockwise direction. So now let us assume that this counterclockwise direction speed as forward. So since we have made motoring operation here and it is assumed to be forward, this is said to be forward motoring. Now let us discuss about this power equation. So here, since we have assumed this counterclockwise direction speed as positive, here speed omega is positive, and torque which is in the counterclockwise direction, let us assume that also as positive. Therefore T is positive, and mechanical power output is nothing but which is equal to the product of omega and T. Here omega is positive and torque T is positive. So the product of two positive quantities will give you the output as positive quantity. And the power P is equal to omega into T is nothing but the power. Therefore positive power. Therefore whenever you obtain a positive power, that will be the motoring mode. And here it is, which is in the forward direction. Therefore because we have assumed this counterclockwise direction as forward, therefore it is forward motoring. Now let us discuss about the second quadrant. So here an empty cage is connected to one end of this hoist and a counterweight is connected to the other end of the hoist. So if we compare these two weights, the weight of this counterweight is greater than that of the weight of the empty cage. Therefore the direction of the load torque will be in the counterclockwise direction, because as we already discussed here, always the load torque direction will be in the maximum weight side. So the same is applicable here also. The weight of this counterweight is higher than that of the weight of this empty cage. Therefore the direction of the load torque will be in the counterclockwise direction, since it is in the counterclockwise side. And here this torque line TL2 is the difference between the torque of this counterweight and the torque of this empty cage. Okay, this torque line TL2 is the difference between the torque of this counterweight and the torque of this empty cage. Now Since the weight of this counterweight is greater than that of the weight of this empty cage, it can easily pull up this naturally, because the weight at this side is high and weight at this side is low. So what happens is this counterweight tries to pull this empty cage into the counterclockwise direction. Therefore, the motion of this empty cage here is in the counterclockwise direction. If the motion is in the counterclockwise direction, then the speed direction will also be in the counterclockwise direction. Now here our objective is to stop this motion or break this motion or to oppose the motion. So if we want to here the motion is in the upward direction. If we want to oppose the motion, we have to give the torque in the opposite direction. Okay, because here torque is the energy which is able to stop the motion or oppose the motion. In the first quadrant, what we done is we have used the torque to move this or to pull this loaded cage in the upward direction. Similarly, here we are using the torque in order to stop the motion also. So a torque can support the motion, and the same torque can oppose the motion also. So here coming back to this discussion, the motion of this empty cage is in the counterclockwise direction or in the upward direction. So if you want to stop this motion which is in the upward direction, we have to apply the torque in the opposite direction. So how to achieve this opposite direction torque? Let us discuss. So here this is the electrical circuit which is used to obtain this opposing torque in order to oppose the motion of this empty cage. So basically, in an electrical machine, torque is proportional to the current, or the direction of the torque depends on the direction of the current. I repeat this point once again. In any electrical machine, the direction of the torque depends on the direction of the current. So if we reverse the direction of the current, the torque will also be reversed. See here, the current is flowing from source to the load here. So which is marked in the red color, from source to the load. Now this current direction is reversed here, which is from load to the source. So here Ia is considered to be positive, which is from source to the load is considered to be the positive. So this torque is also assumed to be positive, because the direction of the torque depends on the direction of the current. So here it is from source to the load, which is assumed to be positive. Therefore the torque is also assumed to be positive. If from the source to the load is assumed to be positive, then from load to the source is assumed to be negative. See here, torque is negative. So when torque becomes negative, or negative torque is called as braking torque. This braking torque is used to oppose the motion. Whenever your torque is positive, that is used to support the motion. Whenever your torque is negative, that torque is called as braking torque. Okay, I repeat once again. Whenever your torque is positive, that torque is called as motoring torque. That torque is used to support the motion, or which will provide the motion. Whenever your torque is negative, that negative torque is called as braking torque. That braking torque will oppose the motion. That means will stop the motion. Okay. So in order to obtain this opposing motion or stop in order to obtain this braking torque, we have to reverse the direction of the current, because the direction of the torque depends on the direction of the current. So this is how the braking torque is obtained, and the motion is stopped by means of using an electric drive. And here power flows from load to the source. Okay, load to the source. So this is called as regenerative braking mode, because here the power is fed to the source. Therefore some power is generated, hence it is known as regenerative mode. Here coming back to this discussion, forward braking. Here since we are braking or stopping the motion or opposing the motion is called as braking. So braking operation is performed. Here in first quadrant, the speed in the counterclockwise direction is assumed to be forward. The same is followed here. Here also we didn't reverse the speed. Here also the direction of the speed is in the counterclockwise direction. So if the speed in the counterclockwise direction is positive in the first quadrant, the same is applicable for the second quadrant also. The direction of the speed is in the counterclockwise direction. Again it is positive, as like in the first quadrant here. So as we discussed earlier, power P is equal to omega into T. That means the product of the speed and the torque. Here speed is positive and torque is negative. Okay, therefore you will be getting output power as negative, because here we changed the direction of the current. Therefore the direction of the torque is also changed. Here it is positive, here it is negative. So negative power. And here it is forward braking, because here we have made braking operation and this forward is the direction of the motion is not reversed, which was like in the previous case. Therefore, it is forward braking. So we are assuming that whenever the speed direction is in the counterclockwise direction, that is assumed to be forward. So this is how the second quadrant of operation is performed. Now let us discuss about the third quadrant. Here, the third quadrant, the motion, to the one end of the hoist, an empty cage is fixed, and to the other end of the hoist, a counterweight is fixed. So if we compare two these weights, as we discussed earlier, the weight of this counterweight is maximum. Therefore, this load torque will be in the counterclockwise direction. And here, the motion required for this empty cage is in the downward direction. Okay, in the downward direction. Therefore, the speed direction will also be in the clockwise direction or in the downward direction. So here the speed direction is reversed when compared to first two quadrants. In first two quadrants, the speed direction is in the anti-clockwise direction, which is assumed to be forward and which is assumed to be positive. Forward and positive. Now here the speed direction is reversed. Therefore, it is reverse. Here it is reverse, which is in the clockwise direction, because this empty case now requires the motion in the downward direction or in the clockwise direction. So the speed is also in the clockwise direction. Now, in order to support this motion or in order to provide this motion, we are in need of a torque. Since the motion is or motion required is in the clockwise direction, the torque or the motoring torque required is also in the clockwise direction. So now we have to obtain this torque. How to obtain that? So by means of using this motoring torque, we can support the motion or we can provide the motion to this empty cage so that this empty cage can be pulled down, or therefore the motion in the downward direction can be achieved. So for that we are using this electric motor. Here armature input as same is in the first quadrant. Here this electrical energy V and I is converted into the mechanical energy called speed and the torque. Here now we want to reverse the speed, right? In the first two quadrants it was in the counterclockwise direction, and here now we want to reverse the speed into the clockwise direction. So basically in a DC machine, the speed direction depends upon the armature voltage or the voltage input which we are giving. The direction of the speed depends on the polarity of the voltage. See here, the polarity of the voltage is here is positive and here is negative. So for this sort of polarity of voltage, the speed which we have achieved was the counterclockwise direction. So if we reverse this polarity of the voltage, see here the polarity of the voltage is reversed. So for this polarity of the voltage, if we are getting counterclockwise means, then for this reversal polarity of the voltage, we will get the clockwise direction of the speed. Therefore, the speed direction depends upon the polarity of the voltage. When you change or reverse the polarity of the voltage, the speed direction will also get changed. So now we are achieving this speed reversal by means of reversing the polarity of the voltage, hence it is reversed. Now we are in the requirement of the torque in the clockwise direction. So for clockwise direction, and here also it is motoring. So the current has to flow from source to the load. See here, it is negative and it comes through the positive and it reaches to the motor, and this electrical energy will be converted into the mechanical energy, and a mechanical motoring torque will be provided by this electric motor to this mechanical load hoist. Therefore this empty cage can be moved downwards. Okay, this electrical input energy is converted into the mechanical output energy called speed and the torque. Therefore this torque, this motoring torque will provide the motion to this empty cage, and this empty cage can be moved downwards. So this is how the third quadrant is operated. Now let us discuss about this one. Here this is motoring, because we have performed the motoring operation. Here this electrical input energy is converted into the mechanical output energy, and we have obtained this motoring torque, and we have provided the motion, or we are supporting the motion of this empty cage in the downward direction. Hence it is motoring operation. And when compared to the previous first and second quadrant, here the speed is reversed. Therefore it is reverse motoring. And power is equal to, we know that the product of speed and the torque. Here speed is minus, because here the speed which is in the counterclockwise direction is assumed to be positive. Now here it is reversed to the clockwise direction. So if it is positive, then it will be negative. Therefore the speed is negative. And the torque T is negative. Why? Because here the torque which is in the counterclockwise direction is assumed to be positive. So if the counterclockwise direction torque is positive, then the clockwise direction torque should be what? Negative. So negative. So when you multiply two negative quantities, you will be getting the positive quantity. Therefore, it is positive power and it is reverse motoring. Since we have performed here motoring operation and that too in the reverse direction, it is said to be reverse motoring. This is about the third quadrant. So similarly, let us discuss about the fourth quadrant. So this is our fourth quadrant. So to one end of the hoist here loaded cage is connected, and to the another end of the hoist here a counterweight is connected. So similarly we have to compare the weights of these two. So the weight of this counterweight is greater than that of the weight of the this is loaded cage. I'm sorry, this is loaded cage. The weight of the loaded cage is greater than that of the weight of this counterweight. And therefore the load torque will be in this clockwise direction because the maximum weight is this side. So always the load torque direction will be on the maximum weight side. Therefore the load torque will be in the clockwise direction. Now here when compared to these two weights, the weight of this loaded cage is high. Therefore it can easily pull downward by itself due to the gravity, because here the weight of this counterweight is less when compared to the weight of this loaded cage. Therefore this loaded cage can easily come down by the gravity action itself by itself naturally. So the motion is in the downward direction. Therefore the direction of the speed is clockwise. That means towards this direction, towards the downward direction, because the speed always follows the direction of the motion. Therefore the direction of the speed is in the clockwise direction. Okay. Now our aim is to oppose this motion or stop this motion. Okay. So if we want to oppose this motion or stop this motion, we are in the requirement of the braking torque as we discussed in the second quadrant. Okay. So in order to oppose this motion or stop this motion, we are in the requirement of the braking torque, and that braking torque has to applied opposite to this because it is coming downwards. If I want to stop this downward motion, I have to apply the torque, opposing torque in the upward direction. That means opposite to this. Therefore your opposing torque should be in the counterclockwise direction, because I want to stop the motion of this loaded cage which is in the clockwise direction. Then I have to apply the opposing torque in the counterclockwise direction. So how to achieve this braking torque which should be in the counterclockwise direction in order to stop this motion which is in the clockwise direction? So for that we are going to use an electric circuit here as similar to that of the second quadrant. See here, this is an electric motor. So as we discussed here the speed is in the clockwise direction. So the same polarity can be used. Here also the speed is in the clockwise. See, in the third quadrant the speed is in the clockwise direction, and here also the speed is in the clockwise direction. So the same polarity of the voltage can be maintained. There is no problem. But here torque is in the counterclockwise direction. But here the torque is in the clockwise direction. So in this clockwise direction it has provided the motoring. So if I want to brake or to stop the motion, I have to make the opposing torque. So here the current direction is in this way. See here, red mark. So now I want to reverse this current. See, this current is reversed because braking torque should be of the braking torque can be achieved by means of reversing the current direction from the motoring mode. Okay, whatever the direction of the current is in the motoring mode, if we reverse the current direction of the motoring mode, we will get the braking mode. So in this reverse motoring, the direction of the current is in this way. So if I reverse this current towards this direction, I can obtain the torque reversal, because always torque depends on the direction of the current. So here I can achieve the torque reversal or the reverse torque or the braking torque by means of reversing the current. So by means of reversing this current, here the braking torque is obtained, and this braking torque stops the motion of this loaded cage. So this is called as reverse braking, because here the speed is reversed when compared to the second quadrant. See here it is in the counterclockwise direction, whereas here it is in the clockwise direction. Therefore it is reverse. And here we are stopping the motion or braking the motion by means of applying this braking torque. Therefore it is braking. Therefore combining these two, this fourth quadrant of operation is said to be reverse braking. And as we already discussed, power is nothing but the product of the speed and the torque. Here speed is negative because here it is clockwise direction, and here also it is clockwise direction. Here this clockwise direction is assumed to be negative. Therefore here also it is clockwise direction. Therefore this will also be the negative speed. and torque is positive. See here, it is in the clockwise direction. This clockwise direction torque is assumed to be negative, whereas here the torque direction is in the counterclockwise direction. So if the clockwise direction torque is negative means, then the counterclockwise torque direction will be positive. So here it is positive. So the product of minus and the positive, I mean when you multiply a minus and plus, you will be getting a minus. Therefore here we are getting a minus power. Okay, negative power. So this is called as reverse braking. So this is about the 4-quadrant operation of an electric drive of a hoist mechanism. In our next session, that is in 7th session, we are going to see about typical load torque characteristics of an electric drive and modes of operation of an electric drive. Please like, share and comment. Thank you.